Good morning, America. Breaking overnight, fiery landing. Flames erupting from this Frontier Airlines flight as the plane makes a hard landing in Las Vegas.
We have no communication with the pilot whatsoever. His radios are out.
What passengers and the airline are saying this morning.
Massive challenges. Residents of communities wiped off the map by Helene, focusing on basic needs.
No food, no water, no power.
GMA flying with the National Guard as they deliver critical supplies. The scope of devastation immense. But through it all, it's southeast strong. This as a potential hurricane threatens the south.
Back in Butler, Donald Trump returns to the site of his first assassination attempt.
As I was saying,
supported by billionaire Elon Musk, as Vice President Kamala Harris visits storm-ravaged North Carolina.
Putting just all hands on deck.
Praising the residents' resilience and promising more help.
New overnight, Israel launches intense airstrikes in Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah, and vows a strong response to Iran's recent missile attack as Israel prepares to mark the one-year anniversary of the October 7th massacre. Our live report from the region.
Super sales, it's Black Friday in October as major retailers launch deals to kickstart the holiday shopping season. What to buy now and what to wait on.
Come on, dance with me.
And spectacular upset, the Commodore commotion, as Vanderbilt shocks #1 Alabama to beat the Crimson Tide for the first time in 40 years.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for joining us to start your week. A busy morning ahead as we monitor developments in the Middle East. Israel striking Hezbollah targets in Lebanon overnight. Retaliation for Iran's missile attack also still on the table.
And there are big challenges ahead for those impacted in Helene's storm zone. The death toll still rising with whole communities destroyed and rescues continuing. Gio is field anchoring our coverage from Marshall, North Carolina, outside of Asheville. Gio, good morning.
Hey, Whit and Janae, good morning to you. You know, I grew up in Florida witnessing so many devastating hurricanes, but this is truly one of the worst I've seen. The devastation is just so widespread. Landslides and rushing water just wipe towns off the map. It is not an understatement to compare this to a war zone. But there are so many good people here in Western North Carolina. We've seen them rise up to help each other, and support is just pouring in from across the country. There is so much need here, though, and I'm going to have much more on the recovery efforts and how you can help coming up here on GMA.
Because we know there is so much more recovery to go, Gio, so we'll go back to you in just a moment. But first, the frightening moments when a plane made a hard landing in Las Vegas. You see in this video, in this picture, flames shooting from the Frontier Airlines flight. ABC's Phil Lipoff has the details. Phil, good morning.
Good morning, Janae. There is video from outside and inside this plane showing the very tense moments when the pilot's call of smoke in the cockpit turns to fire on the tarmac. This morning, dramatic video, flames spewing from a Frontier Airlines jet as it lands in Las Vegas.
We have no communication with the pilot whatsoever. His radios are out.
It happens fast. Watch again slowed down. As the plane touches down, you can see the fireball erupt.
They got a fire in the right engine.
Flight 1326 from San Diego first reported a problem around 3:15. The pilot declaring an emergency, smoke in the cockpit. The landing hard. Passenger Jose Carlos Mena capturing this frightening video as the plane came to a stop, the engine in flames.
In the moment that we were landing, we just see through the window that we were on fire. and everyone was scared and surprised.
Smoke still billowing. Crews at Harry Reid International at the ready, quickly moving in, dousing the flames. Passengers saying they were unaware there was a problem until the fiery landing.
It was a very hard landing and followed by a lot of shaking in the plane, which something seemed wrong, especially when I looked out the window and I saw fire vehicles. Before we even landed, you could see them down on the ground there. I figured something was wrong. I didn't think it was our plane.
Overnight, the plane parked while investigators figure out what went wrong.
This aircraft on landing, an Airbus 321, had all sorts of sparks down around the main gear. What we also don't know is whether or not it was a result of a hard landing or something else.
Right, and they'll be looking into that in the investigation. I have a statement here from the airline. Frontier says, in part, no injuries were reported. There were 190 passengers, 7 crew members on board. The cause of the incident is under investigation, and of course, the FAA is taking lead on that investigation. Gio?
So glad that no one was injured. All right, Phil, thank you so much. Now to our special coverage here on GMA, Southeast Strong and the urgent recovery efforts in Helene's devastating aftermath. The damage we've seen is beyond comprehension. We are here in Marshall, North Carolina right now, and you can just see what's happening here. It really does look like a ghost town. But yesterday, we spent the day in a remote town just about an hour south of here, where many residents feel forgotten, and members of the community are jumping into action. This morning, Helene's devastation gripping communities across the Southeast. The death toll rising, at least 227 people killed. Downed trees and mud cutting off towns in North Carolina, with authorities working to restore power across the state. In the small town of Batcave, we witness Helene's dark aftermath. And I want you to see what's happening with this house here. It appears that this home was completely moved off its foundation. You see the chimney here. This is the chimney that's really in the ground, and there's the rest of it. A remote town decimated, bridges sliced in half, making access significantly challenging. They've actually laid down a ladder so that people can walk across it. Some residents here still trapped at home, volunteers using ATVs. They just told us they're trying to get to somebody up on the mountain.
I brought this down just to try to help shuttle people. You know, the workers, they're incredible what they're doing.
Josh Thomas is a deacon at Batcave Baptist Church, working around the clock for this community. What does this do to your heart?
Man, I can't explain it. It's just a war zone, you know.
What is your message to folks who don't understand just how bad this is?
There's no way to prepare for landslides. It's like telling people in Florida, prepare for a blizzard. Just the miracles of people surviving and people coming through. You know, God just carried them through. People say, well, why don't they come on out now? And they don't have anywhere to go.
North Carolina officials say FEMA has paid survivors here more than $27 million. But we met resident Tammy Holbrooks as she walked down the mountain.
Where's the help? There's people up there with no food, no water, no power, no internet, no signals, elderly people.
Heartbreak mixed with hope. This woman finding her mom hugging her for the first time since the storm.
It was just relief and thankfulness that I have a mom and I have somebody, because there's so many people that are losing those that I know that they just wish they could hug again.
So many people. And as you saw when we were in the town of Batcave, we met Tammy, who lives up in the mountains. She was holding on to bottles of water that a volunteer had given her. This is a woman who has lost so much, and yet at the end of that conversation, she offered us some of those bottles. And that's the kind of person who lives in these towns, and they desperately need help right now. And even as towns try to recover, we are now watching a new tropical weather threat, Tropical Storm Milton, gaining strength overnight and is now on course to hit Florida's Gulf Coast this week. Meteorologist Leslie Lopez from our station KABC is following it all. Good morning, Leslie.
Hi,
and Milton is expected to become even stronger.
You know what? Milton is getting stronger right now in the Gulf of Mexico. So all eyes right now on Milton as it's going to be approaching the middle of this week. So let me just tell you about two different scenarios though, that are playing out right now for the Florida Peninsula. There's one system that's already arriving today on into your Tuesday, bringing in significant amount of flooding. Then we focus on Milton. Now take a look. The path of this hurricane looks like it's going to hit the Florida Peninsula by Wednesday as a potential Category 3 hurricane. You move on through this forecast, and it looks as though we're already dealing with significant amounts of flooding tonight into areas of Palm Beach down to Key Largo, 4 to 7 inches of rainfall. And then we focus on Wednesday. This is also going to be a huge day of playing out how the storm system is going to affect the peninsula. But right now it looks like anywhere from Jacksonville down to Orlando to Tampa, 4 to 7 new inches of rainfall for the area. So again, this is adding insult to injury. Whit will send it back over. We'll have more on this coming up.
Yeah, we'll be tracking it very closely. Leslie, we'll chat in just a bit. We move now to the presidential race with just a month to go before Election Day. Former President Donald Trump making his return to Butler, Pennsylvania, the same place where he survived an assassination attempt during a rally back in July. And Vice President Harris touring storm damage in North Carolina. ABC's Rachel Scott has more from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Rachel, good morning.
Hey, Whit, good morning to you. Donald Trump using that attempt on his life as a rallying cry, even going so far as to suggest that Democrats are responsible, something the FBI has found no evidence of, as the former president made his return to Butler, Pennsylvania. Donald Trump returning to Butler, Pennsylvania, holding a rally in the same location where he was nearly assassinated.
We love Pennsylvania, and as I was saying, oh, I love that. I love that chart.
The former president was looking at that exact chart when a gunman opened fire just minutes after he took the stage.
Take a look at what happened.
Trump asking for a moment of silence to honor Corey Comprentor, the firefighter and Trump supporter who was killed shielding his family from gunfire.
We're here for a reason, and that's to win and to honor Corey, but Corey wants us to win too.
Secret Service increasing security. Some of Trump supporters who attended the rally in July traveling back to Butler. Blake Murnell was in the front row.
I knew it's going to be safe coming back here. I'm the safest rally I've ever been at, but at the same time, it's not like a normal rally.
But Trump, who at one point called Elon Musk up to the stage, drifted into familiar attacks against his rival, calling Vice President Kamala Harris incompetent and suggesting his political rivals were behind the attempted assassination.
Those who want to stop us from achieving this future have slandered me, impeached me, indicted me, tried to throw me off the ballot, and who knows, maybe even tried to kill me.
Authorities have found no political motivation connected to the gunman. Vice President Kamala Harris traveling to North Carolina to focus on the recovery efforts, pledging the full resources of the federal government.
We're putting just all hands on deck.
Thank you.
To make sure that you and your family and your neighbors and everyone have everything that they need. So the focus, of course, is on the recovery efforts, but election officials in those states that have been impacted by that storm are also working to make sure that residents in those areas will be able to vote. In North Carolina, for instance, early voting starts October 17th, and we are now just 30 days out from the November election, Whit.
Final countdown. Rachel Scott, thank you. And tune into This Week later this morning. George Stephanopoulos goes one-on-one with House Speaker Mike Johnson with less than 1 month until Election Day. Plus, George speaks with FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell about the recovery efforts from Hurricane Helene. Janae?
A lot to talk about there. Turning overseas now to the fighting in the Middle East, the region awaiting Israel's response to last week's missile barrage from Iran, even as the IDF launches more strikes in Lebanon. ABC's Matt Gutman joins us live in Tel Aviv with the latest. And Matt, we are just a day before the 1-year anniversary of the October 7th massacre. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Janae. We are, and you mentioned those airstrikes in Lebanon being called the most violent night so far since that campaign began. And Israeli troops are again operating in northern Gaza for the third time. This as Israel continues to calibrate its response to Iran's historic ballistic missile attack from last week. The White House laying down 2 red lines at this point. Do not attack Iranian nuclear facilities. Also, do not attack Iranian oil installations on the Persian Gulf, which could spike global oil prices.
Overnight columns of fire and smoke towering over Beirut, one of the most ferocious strikes yet in Beirut's southern suburbs. Israel saying it targeted Hezbollah weapons depots. One of those strikes seen in this video circulating online, and a shroud of smoke and flames surrounding this hotel in the capital. That is Hezbollah fired salvos of rockets towards Israeli cities. And this morning, reports Hezbollah has lost contact with Hashem Safieddine, the likely successor to its recently assassinated leader after Israel targeted Safieddine in strikes on Beirut on Friday. That as the region braces for Israel's retaliation to Iran's historic missile strike last week. Israel's chief military spokesman saying Israel will respond in a time and place of its choosing. Fears of a regional war coinciding with tomorrow's one-year anniversary of Hamas's October 7th rampage, which left 1,200 dead. We recently met Ilan in the kibbutz of Nahal Oz, continued fighting in nearby Gaza, echoing through the kibbutz.
It's normal to see all that smoke?
Yeah, every day. Last week, it's every day. Every day it's booming and aircraft.
He was the first resident to move back, and he points me to his door and remembers that Saturday morning.
You can see how many bullet holes there are.
The terrorists couldn't break through the steel door. Outside, he saw people walking around with guns. Thousands of terrorists had poured into dozens of Israeli communities. Ilan and his wife hid in a shelter, like millions of Israelis that day, and waited. The power was cut, cell data down, and after hours in darkened silence, Ilan shows me the texts with his daughter, who lived nearby. She heard gunshots. She says, they're here. They're trying to get into the house, trying to open the door. Dad, help us. Men with guns were trying to get into his daughter's safe room.
And so you thought any moment you might lose your daughter?
Daughter and grandchildren.
Then 13 minutes of silence and fear.
What was it like when you saw that text message that said, no, it's the army?
They were safe.
I just spoke with Ilan. He told me that his daughter and his grandkids have since moved back to that kibbutz, but most of those villages around Gaza remain ghost towns. Now, we're in what's called Hostage Square, and of the 250 or so hostages taken into Gaza that day, about 100 remain in captivity. Israeli officials tell me they believe only 50 of them are still alive. Janae.
So many families with so much grief and so few answers. Matt, thank you for your reporting. And rescuers stepped in after a man set himself on fire at a pro-Palestinian rally in Washington, D.C. Saturday. The demonstration was meant to mark a year since the October 7th attack in Israel. It was mostly peaceful. Police say the man was taken to the hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Gio.
All right, Janae, now to the Supreme Court, beginning its new term tomorrow with major cases ahead and all eyes on whether there could be any case dealing with election rules. ABC's Alex Christoforous is at the Supreme Court right now following this story. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Gio. So certainly eyes on election rulings, but let's start with one of the most significant cases of this new term, and that is a challenge to a ban for gender-affirming care for minors. Now, the justices set to rule whether the restriction, which is in place in more than 20 states, is discriminatory. And with the election now just a month away, the court could also be forced to weigh in last minute on appeals over election rules, challenges to how ballots are cast and counted, and how contested election results are certified. Last session, the 6 conservative and 3 liberal justices had a blockbuster ruling on presidential immunity for former President Trump and 2 other decisions that significantly undercut the power of federal agencies. The court is now dealing with alleged ethics violations and its resistance to independent enforcement of a new ethics code, and also claims of partisan politics. And because of that, guys, a new Gallup poll found that just 43% of Americans agree with the work that the court is doing, which is a near record low. Guys.
All right, Alex Christoforous, thank you. We turn now to the weather and go back to meteorologist Leslie Lopez. And we know that we're watching Milton as it potentially comes ashore, but also huge rainstorms in advance of that.
Behind days of rain, behind days and days of rain. Now we have to talk about Milton. Now, I just want to focus on what's happening today for the moment. We already are looking at Naples, Florida. Overcast skies right through the region, but this is not because of Milton. This is a separate frontal boundary that's moving through the area, bringing in an opportunity for flooding. We have 4 days of rainfall. We could see as much as 12 inches of rain in that 4-day period. So the first part of this is going to be concerning tonight. We're talking about flooding, significant flash flooding all the way through this evening, 4 to 7 inches possible. That's today alone. And then we focus on Milton, which will be moving into the area as a Category 3 hurricane, 120-mile-per-hour winds, storm surge very possible, and then significant amounts of rain through the area. So we'll be taking a very close eye, especially on Wednesday. You know, we know it's hurricane season, but to have the same area impacted just days apart, and now we're seeing a system now today, and then a hurricane approaching, it's just a lot for a community to go through.
Sure is.
There's a lot of communities impacted. Leslie, thank you. Now to the major upset overnight in college football. And guys, I'm not talking about my Missouri Tigers because woo, but Vanderbilt stunning #1 Alabama, breaking a 40-year losing streak against the team. ABC's Ike Ajachi has the highlights, maybe some lowlights. Ike, good morning.
This is a wild one.
Oh boy, yes it was. Good morning, Janae. Listen, it was a sour Saturday for top 5 teams, and no one suffered a more horrific fate than Alabama. Just a week ago, the Crimson Tide taking down Georgia in what seemed like the game of the year. What followed next? Well, that surprised everyone. Vanderbilt entering the game 0-60 against top 5 teams, but the Commodores started strong, scoring the first 13 points of the game, and at one point leading by 16 until Alabama's Jam Miller scored this touchdown run before halftime, score 14-23. Now in the third, Alabama cutting Vanderbilt's lead to 2 with this amazing Ryan Miller catch and run, but it wasn't enough. Vanderbilt pulling off one of the biggest upsets in SEC history, beating Alabama 40-35. Fans rushing the field, taking a piece of history with them, tearing down the goalpost and walking it through the streets of Nashville. Now, some other big upsets. Number 4 Tennessee laying an egg against Arkansas, losing a low-scoring game 14-19. Number 10 Michigan falling short to an unranked Washington. And number 11 USC tripping up at unranked Minnesota. Now listen, there will be more football, obviously, all day today, but the football action will continue on Monday Night Football, where the Kansas City Chiefs will host the New Orleans Saints on ESPN. Guys.
Ooh, Robin's going to be fired up about that one.
Yeah. Janae's having flashbacks, too, from ripping down the goalpost, your Mizzou days.
Look, would I remember it?
Back in the day.
Thank you.
When they did win. Coming up here on GMA, we got a lot to cover this morning. More on our Southeast Strong series. We are taking you on board a National Guard helicopter bringing life-saving aid to storm survivors in North Carolina.
You don't want to miss that one. And it's Black Friday in October. As retailers tantalize you with early deals, we'll tell you where to find them.
And NFL Week 5, as we noted earlier, ESPN's Herm Edwards is back, joining us to preview today's big games and the Monday night matchup between the Saints and the Chiefs. We'll be right back. And welcome back to GMA on this Sunday morning. We begin this half hour with the relief efforts following Hurricane Helene as we bring you 5 days of special coverage of the aftermath.
Yes, Helene is the deadliest hurricane to hit the mainland U.S. since Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. The death toll is growing by the day. At least 227 people have lost their lives. Many remain missing after the monster storm ravaged the Southeast just over a week ago. Gio joins us field anchoring from Marshall, North Carolina this morning. And Gio, you're by the devastation firsthand.
Yeah, Janae, I mean, it really is so devastating when you look at this. As you said, we are in Marshall, North Carolina, and you can see right through some of these buildings. That's what's just unbelievable here. That was a local restaurant just behind me here. And that's what we are seeing all across Western North Carolina. So many people have simply lost everything. And keep in mind, so many of these areas were never considered flood zones. So people just don't have that flood insurance to cover all that they've lost after Helene. Now, we've told you how widespread the devastation here is, and much of it can only be seen by air. So ABC's Morgan Norwood rode along with the National Guard in a helicopter to the spots isolated by washed out roads. Morgan, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you, Gio. Yeah, it was really eye-opening because the North Carolina National Guard has been on the ground since the storm hit, along with thousands of other troops from 17 different states. So on our fly along, we got a chance to see how those operations run, at times essentially operating as a taxi, picking up emergency officials, dropping them off to those relief drops themselves, but then also those heart-pounding searches.
This morning, the race to relief. The North Carolina National Guard on the move, loading up for Western North Carolina, and we're flying along. First, we get our safety briefing from the pilots.
How are you? So nice to meet you.
Then we board the Black Hawk. We're flying over McDowell County to pick up a group of FEMA representatives. They direct us to Lake James. We hover for close to 45 minutes to survey the damage.
They're looking for a white box truck. They say it drove over the bridge. And right now we're trying to find it.
Troops circling the swollen waters below before heading to Hickory Regional Airport to refuel. As soon as we land, our second mission comes in. Troops picking up medical supplies.
We've sent out 2 million pounds of supplies in a week.
We fly over hard-hit Swannanoa. This was the scene from the ground Friday. And from above, the scope of the devastation even more clear. We land there, picking up generators, and we drop them off in Pensacola, North Carolina, a tiny community that's seen its fair share of Helene's wrath. The volunteer fire department running out to meet the guard. Our next mission takes us the farthest, to Hot Springs, North Carolina, near the Tennessee border. We drop those medical supplies to a school serving as a shelter.
And we've become almost like a little distribution center that's filled with the people that have been affected the most. And I think that's so heartwarming to see everybody come together.
And just as we were wrapping missions for the day, troops get one final call to Bat Cave. We quickly land on one of the few bridges still standing.
Probably some of the worst damage that we'll find here in western North Carolina. Right now, troops are getting another briefing. They're talking with officials here on the ground to see what the needs are.
Overall, the National Guard completing 422 flight missions since the storm hit.
I can't help but notice that when you land and you drop off supplies, I mean, there are big smiles from folks and they're racing out to get the supplies. I mean, what does it mean to be a part of this?
It's phenomenal to serve my community. Even though I'm not from North Carolina, it's just great to be able to give back to everybody that's done so much.
And so a huge thanks to the North Carolina National Guard for that fly along. It was really incredible to see just how quickly those missions come in, but also how quickly they change. I mean, just for perspective, when we flew over Bat Cave, we landed because of just how bad it looked from the air, but that also shows the humanity of those guards to land and check on the folks there. Just a few specs on what they've done since the storm hit. The North Carolina National Guard doing 185 missions, delivering close to 1.4 million pounds of food and supplies, Gio.
Just surreal to see that by the air, Morgan. And as we've mentioned here, you're from North Carolina, and you have that unique perspective of truly knowing what it was like here before Hurricane Helene and now seeing it after. What strikes you the most, Morgan?
You know, it has to be the devastation and just, as you pointed out, the contrast between the before and after. I mean, just for perspective, Western North Carolina is what makes the North Carolina's landscape so beautiful. The mountains are where many folks, not just here in North Carolina vacation, but all over the country as well. And so there's a sense of pride. It meant a lot to us. But then we're also thankful for those same folks, those tourists who come in, also pouring into this area to help provide relief and pitching in to help. So it is really heartwarming to see. And we are Southeast strong, Gio.
Yeah, really Southeast strong, and we've witnessed that pride and that joy even in the midst of losing it all. So many people are coming together to help each other, even when they don't have things here. And that's what's so striking about it and really just so amazing about the people of Western North Carolina. Guys.
And that is why it is so important to have you guys out there covering these stories, allowing us to see the damage firsthand, to meet those people. Both of you, the stories that you told, they were so wonderfully done, taking us there to see all of the help that's needed. So guys, thank you. And you at home can learn more about some of the organizations that are giving back and helping in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene by scanning that QR code right there that's on the screen now.
Yeah, and the threats aren't over. So we're going to go back to Leslie Lopez, get another check of the weather, because we are watching Milton and then also the record heat in some parts of the country.
Right. I mean, there's just a tale of two countries basically right now. This is what it's happening over on the West Coast. We're dealing with some excessive heat. I mean, it's been so hot for so many days. Historic heat and more of it on the way. High pressure's not moving. We do have temperatures yesterday breaking some records, 111 degrees over into Phoenix. It was 88 degrees in Colorado, which broke the October temperature record at least. And then excessive heat warnings are continuing forward. It's about 108 degrees over in Palm Springs and 101 over in Palmdale. Now, as we continue forward, we might have another stretch of some hot weather that could bring Phoenix to 16 days of historic heat if this continues forward on into Wednesday.
Big Black Friday in October, as they say, retail push by major sellers like Target and Amazon as they move the holiday shopping starting line forward, ever forward. ABC's Alexis Christoforous is here.
Earlier.
Yes,
and
my goodness.
Yeah, well, look, if you're like me, guys, you haven't even started your Halloween candy shopping yet, but that doesn't mean it's too early to start checking off items off your holiday gift list, right? Amazon's Prime Big Deal Days are October 8th and 9th, and you know what that means. Other retailers are rolling out their own deals in a race for your dollars. Get ready for Black Friday in October. Retailers slashing prices to get you to shop for the holidays early and often.
We are seeing Black Friday prices in October across probably 80% of the items on your holiday list.
From toys to tech, many of the sales already available, like Bissell's Little Green Portable Carpet Cleaner, under $100. This box of classic Legos, 45% off at just $33, and more than 50% off this mid-century style chair, now $75.
It's Target Circle Week. Get ready for 7 days of big deals.
And the deals go well beyond Amazon. Target's Circle Week runs today through the 12th. Walmart's Holiday Deals event kicks off Tuesday and lasts 6 days. Best Buy's 48-hour flash sale starts October 8th, and Wayfair's Way Day sale runs through tomorrow. But experts say don't expect prices to go even lower come Black Friday.
Based on years previous, the prices were so hot on October Prime Day that Black Friday didn't actually beat them.
Some exceptions, holiday decorations like artificial Christmas trees will see deeper discounts on Black Friday, while Cyber Monday will serve up better deals on small appliances like air fryers and coffee makers. And if you're already daydreaming about that midwinter getaway, Princess and Carnival cruises are 40% off during Amazon's Prime Deal Days. Avis and budget rental cars up to 35% off with 10% back on an Amazon gift card. And for all you music lovers out there, Amazon's offering 4 months of free music unlimited to Prime members during its deal days. Experts say always compare prices before you buy. You want to use price trackers like Keepa and Camel to know, of course, if you're getting the best deal out there.
Wow. Good to know. Whit's not much of a gift giver. But
oh, come on. Yeah. I do prefer to receive a gift from time to time. No, just kidding.
With you.
Thank you, Alexis. As always, we appreciate it. Coming up on Good Morning America, checking out this week's NFL matchups. Herm Edwards shares his insights just ahead. All right, we are back now on GMA with a preview of Week 5 in the NFL and the teams going head-to-head. ESPN football analyst, veteran head coach Herm Edwards is back this morning. Herm, always great to see you. Let's go ahead and let's start with Buffalo Bills visiting the Houston Texans. Both teams looking to get to 4-1. Who do you see taking this one?
Well, this is tough for Josh Allen. He's a one-man wrecking crew right now. I mean, he's playing marvelous. 7 touchdowns already. And, you know, the problem is I don't think they have enough offense to deal with Houston. He's an MVP candidate. Look at this throw here. But you look at Houston, the thing they can do, they can run the ball with C.J. Stroud. And the Buffalo Bills struggle versus the run. They're 30th against the run. So this is a bad omen for Buffalo. I'm going to go with Houston in this one. Although I hate picking against Josh Allen, I love the guy. I think he's a fabulous quarterback.
He's on my fantasy team, too, so there's that.
All right, noted. Herm, I'm sorry.
Part of the analysis.
Is that velvet?
You would know that. That's velvet.
That's sharp. I was just making sure. Looking
She
good.
doesn't miss the fashion trends.
It's Thanksgiving. I mean, you know, it's October.
Yeah,
Excuse me, it's October. It's trick or treat.
There you go.
It's trick or treat.
I'm pointing Merlot velvet. Come on. All right. It's been a long time since the Cowboys and Steelers faced off in primetime. 1982 to be exact. You were born, Whit, when you were an Eagle, Herm. The rivalry reigniting tonight. What are your thoughts on their history? How worried should the Cowboys be about the Steelers?
Well, I can actually remember watching these games when I was young, right? And then all of a sudden I was in the league. And this dates way back. Cowboys and obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers. These were the two teams that faced a lot in the Super Bowl when you think about it back in the day. But I think the Cowboys, as good as they are on offense, their problem is defensively. They don't stop the run. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to hammer the ball at you. Najee Harris, I mean, you know, he's a big-time runner. Fields is playing well all of a sudden. Guess what? He left Chicago, and all of a sudden he went to Pittsburgh, and everybody said he's a pretty good quarterback. Well, and the Pittsburgh's defense is outstanding, so I like Pittsburgh in this one.
Oh, it's going to be a great one. By the way, 1982, that was a good year. That was a good year for many reasons. All right, let's get to update our Who's with Herm numbers here. Here's a look at the scoreboard that we've got. You'll notice me right there in the lead. 3 wins. Janae has 2. So does Herm. Gio still with a goose egg, but he's not in the studio to defend himself this morning. So let's talk Monday Night Football, Herm. Can the Saints pull off a win against the undefeated Chiefs?
This is going to be hard, especially in Arrowhead. When you think about the numbers, Patrick Mahomes and this team, they're 80% win rate when they play at Arrowhead Stadium.
Wow.
As good as the Saints have been, cars walking into a buzzsaw. when it gets loud in there. And I just think at home, very difficult to beat this Chiefs team. Although I do like the Saints. I think they're playing well. But in Kansas City, with that guy that has the ball, Patrick Mahomes, he doesn't lose a whole lot in Kansas City, guys.
There you go. All right, that's the Chiefs for Herm. Janae, who do you like?
I'm going with Merlot-colored velvet
there you
this
go.
morning.
Can't turn down
Mr.
the Merlot.
Herm and the Chiefs.
I'm going Chiefs too. Gio phoned in his choice. Gio's picking the Saints. He's going with Robin Roberts and the Saints. So we'll see what happens. Coach, always appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Of course, you can catch the Saints versus the Chiefs game on Monday night, 8 Eastern, right here on ESPN.
And we are back now in North Carolina here with another example of Southeast Strong. We're giving you an exclusive look at how the largest no-kill dog rescue in America, Big Dog Ranch Rescue, is collecting and distributing pet food and supplies to families in these hard-hit areas. They're also saving dogs from shelters in nearby communities without power and resources. The group traveled up from Florida and has so far rescued more than 150 dogs. So go Big Dog.
Absolutely.
We're glad to see that. Some bright spots.
And just a reminder of all the need that exists out there, too. And Gio, again, thank you so much for your incredible coverage and the entire team. That's it for us here on GMA. Have a great rest of your day.